Man, I'm shivering in here. I'm such a cheap ass. I keep the heat at 50 in the warehouse, and I jack it up to 65 when I'm here. And yes, it's 5:41 in the morning, folks. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, Mikey Pipes. It's Wednesday, hump day. Oh, and for me, it's a nice day. I love me hump days. I love it, especially when I'm going to Florida for an extended weekend later today. So I'm excited. I am excited. I'm very thankful that the government shutdown is over and TSA agents and air traffic controllers and everyone else is back at work. And I'm looking forward to having a nice, relaxing weekend. How about you? Let me know in the comment section down below. Well, I figured since it's so cold in here, 54 degrees now, went up a degree in a few minutes, might as well work on this oil to gas conversion boiler we're going to put in probably, God willing, Thanksgiving week. Probably, I said. It's really, it's confirmed. I just don't know when it's going to be confirmed to put in. So, I'm looking forward to getting this installed and start off the last month of the year pretty epic. You know what I mean? Pretty epic. Now, the one thing about building on a board like this is the fact that you don't really see if things are perfectly level. Now, I've seen some other YouTubers and other guys in the trades, HVAC guys, building systems on a board and also using like laser levels and things like that. Well, I'm not saying I don't have that luxury. It's just that I don't really know how to set that up. Like a level so I could check to see what. You know what I mean? I'm just running my mouth. I gotta get a tubing cutter, but let me just use the bandsaw. Bandsaw is so much easier, you know? Especially when it's brand new. Cuts like butter. I swear. Cuts like butter. So I'm just dry fitting everything. And yeah. I guess that looks okay. Move it down a little bit. I think it looks good. Let me show you. How does that look? Not too shabby. So, a huge shout out to the smart people at US Boiler Burnham. Their Alta now comes with these offset adapters that go on a domestic cold water inlet and domestic hot water outlet. Unlike previous models, or revisions, sorry, they give you this. They give you that little piece right there. And that one. And that puts you smack in line with this. Why not spend a little extra money and give us a little offset? So in order to do what I just did over there, I had to spend like, I don't know, 15 bucks probably for press. Just saying. Just saying. So I like that they did that. I really do like that they did that. Now, I am going to cut this back a little bit, line that up there, and I gotta throw a valve in there, and a backflow prevention device. Yeah, I gotta do that too. And you know what I find fascinating? The art of joining two pieces of copper together in a skill called brazing. I find it fascinating how two metals can be joined together with some flux to act as a cleaner and a little bit of silver. Where's my silver solder? There it is. And a little bit of silver to make that bond permanent. It's crazy. It really is crazy. You know what? There's one more. You know what? I don't want to be an idiot. We're going to solder a small piece of 1/2-inch copper. I'm using L tubing. And I am going to solder in this ball valve. Good. I'm going to solder in that ball valve. And since I need to solder the other end as well, I'm going to do both ends of the ball valve together, going into my sweat collecting 1/2-inch pressure reducing valve. Let's go there. I have a rag underneath. And one. There's two. There's three. Yes. I was taught to do that, and I continue to do that, and I like it. It works for me. Now I'm going to take a damp rag and wipe down all of that nasty flux off of the fitting, off of the tubing. See? Nicey nice. Okay. Time to finish my espresso shot. And I'm going to work on connecting my domestic cold water. You know, I'm building out this boiler, this 2-zone boiler, and I had to break out my solder box in the truck. And inside my solder box is this little Milwaukee tubing cutter, right? It's a little baby tubing cutter. And what I find fascinating, let me show you, is that not only does it walk across the copper, right? But it only does, this is crazy, it only does, you said it, up to 1/2-inch copper. Look at this. Fully open, and that's the only thing you're getting through there. What is the purpose of making this, Milwaukee? Why? Why must you make this? Dumb. That's the definition of stupidity. Seriously. You make a mini tubing cutter, or close quarters cutter, if you want to call it that, for what? To do 1/2-inch copper, or maybe 3/8? Come on. 1/4-inch? You couldn't do 3/4 at the same time? What did that save you? Or what did you gain by that, by having people now buy a larger one for the 3/4 as well? Dumb. Really, really, really dumb. Just my food for thought right now. It's a little dumb. I like it. It looks good. We got to straighten that out a little bit. Right there. All right. And let me show you how I can solder. A lot of you folks think that Mikey Pipe doesn't know how to solder. He's not a plumber. He's a stick with HVAC. And of course, the guys who say, "Oh, you don't know HVAC, stick with plumbing." And I know I should be doing. You know what? I know I should be doing the other end of this, and I'm going to do that right now. I need to do the other end of this right now. I just realized something. Hope I'm not going to fuck myself with the expansion tank here. Expansion tank there. which I don't know where they are. There they are. All right, so I put that there. I'm definitely gonna hit my expansion tank. So let's reposition our flush valves like that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna reposition my flush valves there, and we'll line them up right here perfectly. Yeah, I like that. All right, that's not gonna go there. Let's get another piece of 3/4 inch copper, which I have right there. Let me get not my 1/2 inch close quarter tubing cutter out. Let's cut a piece of 3/4 copper. All right, and let's solder this in. You saw me deburr the pipe, right? Okay, good. Just making sure. I don't want to get in trouble, you know, from the YouTube police. You know what I mean? You guys are vicious. Vicious, I say. Absolutely vicious. And you know what's crazy is that a certain family member apparently has a crush on me, watching my content on the Uncensored channel, and then ratted me out and told my wife that giving someone a goat and a flock of chicks, that it's a horrible secret Santa gift. Horrible. And that I should be ashamed of myself for even thinking about giving someone a gift in their name to Heifer International. I got a little snotty there, folks. A little snotty. Yeah, ain't that crazy? And that person is not even the recipient of the goat donation and the flock of chicks donation in their name. They're not even the recipient. Yet, they want to criticize the beautiful gift that I gave, that everyone thinks is amazing. Can you believe that? I bet you if I was giving you a Louis Vuitton bag or a Chanel bag, you wouldn't be saying that. Just saying. But, love you anyway. And you know who I'm talking to. I know you watch me. Yeah. And if you want to watch me on my OnlyFans channel, we can do that too. Subscriptions start at, well, I pay you. All right. A little snotty there, and a little snotty there as well, and I bet you that's gonna leak. Fuck. Just looks like it's gonna leak. You know that? You get that? You know what I'm talking about? You look at it, I'm like, it looks like it's gonna leak. Looks like it's missing a little bit. Oh, damn it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do next is we are going to divert these that way. All right? I need to put a coupling here. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I'm tired. You know, I always say that every boiler install is kind of like a blank canvas where you know what the end result needs to do, right? But everyone you do a little differently. Unless you're like doing cookie cutter type stuff, you know? But I don't have that much headroom or height in this 5.5 foot crawl space. So that's why this board is cut to 4 feet and 4 feet across. Yes, my expansion tank is going to hang a little lower than the elevation of the bottom of the board of the floor, but I'm also planning ahead to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. So I'm thinking about pointing them out like that, and then the relief valve is going to be pointing, that's kind of retarded, to the relief valve. If I put this like this, the relief valve is going to be pointing down on the domestic valve there. Wants to do it like that, and then I could put it out the side. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a little creative here with this relief valve. We're gonna have to get a little creative, maybe with a like a nipple and a 90, and yeah. Okay, it is what it is. All right, let me go find a coupling. We don't stock that many sweat fittings, but oh, there you go. This is from the days when we did sweat and not press. Now I have a whole section of press for black pipe. And of course a section for press fittings and pecs and all that good stuff. But making it happen, folks. Making it happen. Look, it's 62 degrees here and it's 35 after 6 here in the morning. Getting it done. It's gonna really, really look nice. Yeah, all right. I'm going to show more of this later in an upcoming video. Keep in mind, folks, that I am going to be a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a break. I will probably not post again until Monday of next week, which is the week of Thanksgiving. If I decide to post while I'm in Florida, it'll be because I know you guys are hungry. So, coming along very nice. See you later.